This is Project CB News, where the truth matters.
Good afternoon. I'm Plessis. I'm the Deputy Vice Chancellor on the Van der Bijlpark campus. And this afternoon we have the privilege of welcoming our B.ed graduates back to the campus for the annual B.ed Alumni event. Now, B.ed students are very important, not only for us, but for the country. It's widely recognized that education is the fundamental building block for the future success and economic growth of South Africa. So, at this event, we want to pay tribute to our students, but also our brand ambassadors. And we know that our next generation of students will come from the school system. So it's a privilege for us to have them here, to listen to their stories, and to see them as proud ambassadors of the Northwest University.
Streams united flow, Africa stands proud and tall. As we learn, we trust, we know God is in control. Bless us, O Lord, guide us with grace. May Northwest be blessed always. Bless us, O Lord, sing unto thee. Ore Jehovah, Temporena, sing ons, bless us, O Lord.
Really went through a difficult time. But if there's one good thing about COVID, I can assure you, everybody with children appreciate teachers more. I heard many stories about how difficult it was to try to teach their children at home. And I had my youngest daughter was in grade 12, so I can testify to some of that. And I'm not sure if I would pass matric when I looked at some of those accounting and maths. But we are glad that we have made it somehow. I think we have missed a few things. I think we all know there were sacrifices in quality, but we have done what we could with what we had. And also thank you. I don't think it was difficult in the schools to really go back and try to have a sense of normal. I think it's challenging to be a teacher today, and maybe even more in a developing country that has been through a pandemic. But no matter the challenges that you face in the classroom, you must know that you as a teacher will truly leave a positive impact on those learners in front of you, and on their families, and on their future. We know, and we often hear stories, how what happens outside the classroom in the life of a child does not stay outside the classroom. Some of that comes into the classroom and you have to deal with that. After COVID, before that, we live in a world where there's crime, there's lots of dysfunctional families, lots of people lose their jobs, and you also have to face all of that in the classroom. I've also come to learn that it's often the child who deserves your love the least that needs it the most. The children that come to school, do their homework, all the books are covered, those are the ones you like because they are your model learners. But the children who do not have proper food, who do not have help with their homework, and who've come with that to school, they need you more. So, and just know that we who are also in the education profession are aware of that. It's interesting. When I Googled this morning some facts about teachers and so, I got to an article where they say they ask a number of people who are successful to mention the 20 people that have a profound impact on their lives. And the one common denominator was that all of them mentioned at least one teacher.
Good day, my name is Clement Manoko. I am the person responsible for corporate relations and marketing at the Northwest University. One of my responsibilities is making sure that we have fruitful engagement with our alumni. Our alumni play a key role in linking the university with industries in the private sector and the public sector. We ensure that we keep in touch because some of the things they do impact on our reputation. They give advice also to our teaching, learning, and research programs. So we are able to enhance based on the feedback we receive from our alumni. Today, we are here meeting the B.ed graduates or alumni. These are very important people because they are in the schools. And in terms of our Faculty of Education, we have the work integrated learning, which sees our final year students absorbed or linked with certain schools for practicals. And it's important that they give a good account of themselves as teachers to make sure that the schools keep on employing or recruiting our students or graduates of the Northwest University. We're looking forward to a very fruitful engagement and positive feedback. And of course, where it's not positive, we are very much appreciative that we can address whatever shortcomings that have been identified by our alumni.
As you can see, there's a robot. And when Angie Mochecha announced the results, they had this robot moving around, shaking hands. And that is what we portrayed as education in South Africa. But in reality, colleagues, South Africa, the poor education in South Africa is currently hindering the growth in South Africa. We're all complaining. Petrol is becoming more expensive. There's no power in Eskom. It's becoming impossible to live. I just spoke to someone yesterday, and they said to me that even the salary we earn is no longer sufficient because South Africa's growth is it's not being stimulated, it's being stemmed. And why is this the case? Is because we have a shortage of skills. We have high unemployment. We have high transport costs, not only for workers, now it's for everybody. When I said this the last time, it was only for workers. Now you know what petrol costs. And we have high crime rates in our country. The International Monetary Fund said the following about South Africa. Low economic growth might be attributed to poor education outcomes. You and I are responsible for education in this country, and we are being fingered in the poor education outcomes. International evidence seems to indicate that low quality education has dragged us down and is stemming the long-term growth in this country. What do we need? We need education that leads to more skilled workforce, higher productivity, and human capital of higher output. So we all know this. You know, we all speak about 4IR. Am I the right screen? Yes. Okay, the first industrial revolution was mechanization, water power and steam. The second was mass production. The third was computer and animation. And now we speak about cyber and physical systems. I remember in one of the sessions in Parliament, they asked one of the politicians to please name the four. And they didn't know, so I'm just making sure you know what the four are. So where do we find ourselves? We find ourselves in a world that has become totally different. You know, Uber, my niece is visiting us, and the other day I said to her, wouldn't you want to take my car to go and visit someone? She said, no, it's easier to take Uber. Netflix, we have choices. We have Skype, we have Zoom, and we don't book a hotel anymore, we look for Airbnb. So we have moved quite a bit. But what is happening in education, colleagues? We are still where we were many years ago.
Good afternoon. I am Dr Elize KÜNG, Deputy Dean in the Faculty of Education on the Vanderbijl campus.
Good afternoon, and I'm Lloyd Conley. I'm the Executive Dean for the Faculty of Education. I'm also responsible for the three campuses that the Noordwes University has. It's the Vanderbijl Park, the Potchefstroom, as well as the Mahikeng campus. We are educationists by heart, and therefore we have gone through the whole process of being at primary school, secondary school, right through to tertiary. And what we have found is that in South Africa, we are battling to get to a situation where education is improving. There were many initiatives and many new processes followed. In fact, that there was changes in curriculum, all with the goal of trying to improve education in South Africa. But what we have found is that we are not performing well when it comes to the global testing. And South Africa will have to really rethink how we approach education. I think that initial education is one of the vehicles that we can use to improve education, and that is where our focus lies. We do train teachers for initial education, but we also train in-service teachers, and we upskill the in-service teachers.
This afternoon we are actually at an alumni function of the Vanderbijl campus for our B.ed and PGCE alumni. And I think, as Prof Lloyd has indicated here, that initial teacher training plays a big role, or will play a big role in changing education in South Africa. But at the same time, keeping our alumni in the loop, keeping them part of the university, encouraging them to become lifelong learners, to improve their own qualifications. But apart from that, just letting them know that we are there to support them in a very difficult career, in difficult circumstances, is something that universities and faculties of education should acknowledge. And that is why it's absolutely a privilege to be here this afternoon with our alumni and to see the joy of them just getting together and being able to talk to one another about the things they face.
And it is post-COVID. We are together for the first time. And, you can see how people really want to socialize, how they want to be in each other's company, and how they share. And I think it's important for teachers to create communities of learning, communities of practice, and professional learning communities so that they can share with each other. And this is an opportunity for our alumni to get to know each other once again, to link up with each other, to start talking on social media and sharing best practices. And I think by using the technology that's available, we can start with a process of improving. It is unfortunate that not all of our students are as privileged as some of the better off students. But at the Northwest University, we really empower them to use these technological equipment to ensure that they can reach out to each other, but they can also do the research that is necessary, because you know that we cannot teach the way we were taught. We have to grow, and we have to start working on critical thinking skills. We need to allow students to develop their own minds and their own skill sets that they can use to achieve better results in the end of the day.
I think maybe I would like to share something that we have just experienced. We have just completed our work integrated learning, and for the first time in 3 years, our lecturers could go and assess our students in situ. And what was quite amazing in the stories that came back was that we assess students in schools that are kitted out to the T. Every single bell and whistle that you can have is there. And from there, you would drive to another school and you will have one of our students and some of our alumni teaching in schools where the doors are broken, the windows are broken. They have very little, but still the quality of the lessons were amazing. We saw students using gravel to teach little ones in a manner that I have never seen before. And then we saw students doing the most wonderful things with simulations and technology. And that is what South African teachers have to be trained for and what they should be ready for.
So as the Northwest University, our slogan is, "It all starts here." And we believe that we have empowered our students, our alumni, to become centers of excellence, teachers who care and teachers who give back to community. We believe that they will succeed in a very difficult, under very difficult conditions. But I also believe that they will do well because they are alumni of the Northwest University.
Can I close off and say, it all starts here, but it does not stop here.
This brings us to the end of our show. Go to our website to uncover more stories at projectcb.online.